on, man. Hey, go on, man. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, buddy? So I just came back from vacation. Don't know if you can tell. But I wanted to revisit the LG G6 because of the fact that I use that phone all the time in Costa Rica. And not just because I use the phone, it's because I use the waterproofing absolutely all the time. Whether it's doing an excursion, hanging out at the pool, or just like horsing around, that feature was way better than I expected, and I kind of want to share my thoughts on that. Plus, when I was looking about it in retrospect, I didn't really go over waterproofing all that much in my review, and I kind of copped out. And I couldn't find a beer to dunk it in, so that was really annoying. So hopefully this makes up for the lack of waterproof testing in my last review. Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoy. So the most simple waterproof test that we did outside the general humidity in Costa Rica was the horseback ride down to the beach, which basically the rancher took us down through a forest and into the beach and took us into the water. He took us pretty deep and we got splashes, and the phone held up pretty well. And again, you wouldn't expect any issues here anyway, but it was able to be splash proof. I took this canyoneering where you have to rappel down waterfalls, wade through water, and climb up hills, and really had no issue having this in my back pocket, being exposed to the water. Filming was easy, as well as capturing some audio.
What was the experience?
However, you will notice in a little bit is that the audio is a little bit muffled, and that's because straight out of your pocket or straight out of the water, you're gonna notice that there's water still in the channel from the microphone, and it's going to still pick up the audio. It just won't be as clear as you might want.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God.
Canyoneering, you aren't always exposed to water, so we decided to jump in the pool and test out the video and audio and see what is picked up and if it really held up. And surprisingly, we had no issues at all. So that's not good enough for you, and the pool seems too clean for you. We decided to go to hot springs and see how the phone held up, and just hang out by springs and, you know, get dunked in. If you didn't know, the ones in Costa Rica are sulfur filled, so there's also some sediments in there. So again, I would not recommend this for normal everyday use to do this, but to get you guys really understanding how resilient this phone is, we dunked ourselves in the springs. We got shot down slides into springs, and basically just had carefree fun in that resort without any issue with the phone breaking down or unable to record.
That's super fast.
Paddle, paddle, paddle! 4!
Are you not impressed yet? If you're not, we did one last test in Hako on the last day where we surfed for about an hour and a half, and I kept this phone in my back pocket so I could take videos. So whether it was waiting in the shallow ends to help a friend get on the board, taking videos of people that were riding to shore, or just literally waiting out a wave or paddling out further, this phone was able to do everything I asked it to. I was able to pull it out really quickly, take videos of whatever I needed, use the functions, use the GPS. I was able to do most anything on the phone without any issues. And it held up. It held up extremely well. In salt water, no less. So if that doesn't convince you that this is a great phone for its waterproof resiliency, I have no idea. But I was really impressed with it, and I think you guys will be too. So we learned that the LG G6 is absolutely beastly in terms of water resiliency. And it went through all those scenarios without big issues. I was able to take the shots that I wanted. I was able to use the phone. I was able to listen to music. And outside of some weird audio quirks because of the water channel, I was able to use it for whatever I needed. And I think that is a good stamp of approval for this phone. However, with that, I do want to be real with you guys. That me doing this for this review basically voided my warranty. And I would hate for you guys to do the same thing. I did this just to see what shots I could get and what the phone was capable of. But I want you guys to be able to stay within warranty, and if lingering things happen with your phone or there's something that drops off in functionality, that you won't be without a phone. That was just a risk I decided to take for this video. But again, if you need the same features so you can get some shots, I would recommend a proper case that has the certifications that would protect your phone. Because not only is it just because I want you guys to keep your warranty, but it's also because there might be lingering issues. The reason why this is something that I want to keep in mind is because despite it functioning when it was functioning, it's the times that I was off camera that there were problems, and that I want you guys to be aware of. So because it was introduced to water and that LG is trying to keep you safe, they do have a warning. I think Samsung has something similar where it will block you from charging or using the USB-C if moisture is present or apparent to the system. And that might seem like a great feature, and it is technically, but that feature is sticky. It stays there. Like, even if you don't see any moisture or feel any moisture in there, it might stay there because the system has detected it at one point. Again, there were multiple things I tried to do to get around this because I was trying to use the phone to get shots and use the phone for, navigation. So the one thing that I would do is I would just constantly plug in and plug out until maybe the error would forget that it was there. Not very effective. The other thing I did was look completely psycho around locals and just like stick little pieces of paper in there, and literally no one knew what I was doing, but I was just trying to get that moisture out. That was semi-successful, but also probably not worth it for all the looks I got. And then probably the best solution, but I didn't have it on me, was just throwing a bag of rice for a night and then charge it in the morning, but I didn't have that option on me. So again, that error is sticky, but not just because you can't charge your phone. The big issue for me was I was trying to get some drone shots so I could put them in my review as intros and just overall capabilities of things. So if you are in that situation, the closest thing I could get to going in it is overrunning your phone, like running a ton of apps and heating up your phone, because in that instance it would charge. Again, that wasn't 100%. There were times, especially as I was leaving, and there was so many days of water exposure that the phone would just keep that notification. And that's when the sad part of the trip comes. That's when the drone wouldn't register my phone, and that's when I decided to enter manual mode on my new drone that I haven't done that before. And yeah, that totally worked out fine. You definitely should check out the vlog, see how well that turned out. You can see my depression that happened there. Yeah, that was an interesting experiment. But anyway, yeah, so I don't want you guys to have those same issues that I had. My phone recently just started acting normal, and like on the plug it'll charge, but it took a few days of drying to really get it back up to function. But other than that, if you just need to use it for a day, or just quick waterproofing, the phone will hold up on you, and it's something that I appreciate of this phone a lot more. It's just the absolute beast. So I'll recommend it for water resiliency, but please keep in mind my advice and recommendations around it, so you do have a phone in the foreseeable future. Anyway, appreciate you guys sticking out with me. Leave comments. I love those things. I have social if you guys want to hit me up on that. And stay tuned for the next one. Until then, appreciate ya. See you later.